Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. My name is Rajkumar. Thanks for joining me while I talk about application modernization. If you are the one who is already working on any of the legacy applications like iSeries, IBMI, or IBM mainframes, or you are about to start working on one of these applications, then you're in the right place because in the next couple of minutes, we will be talking about what are these legacy applications, why do we care about modernizing these legacy applications, what are the various approaches or strategies, and what are the various trends to modernize these legacy applications. Also, after we complete this presentation, if you have any questions, you can please feel free to shoot an email to rchindanuru@gmail.com. All right, so let's dive in to see how we can transform really these legacy applications. We'll jump into the presentation. All right, so application modernization, we still see this as a very critical imperative for so many enterprises as we seek to maintain the competitive advantage in an increasingly digital business landscape. You do not believe approximately 72% of enterprises are actively trying to modernize their applications, with 28% of them are still in planning stages. And today, organizations implementing successful modern initiatives have experienced 42% increase in operational efficiency and a 38% improvement in customer satisfaction rates. And definitely, I would also mention this organizations, those that are not planning modernization as part of their investments, they tremendously spend between 6 to 80% of their budget still maintaining their existing applications, but not on their innovations. Let's see the current state of these legacy applications. When I say current state of these legacy applications, sometimes we hear that people say legacy applications, but we still tend to use many of these applications for our critical day-to-day business operations. Though they claim themselves like they're still functional, we still want to continue because these business operations are so critical for their existing business. And if I try to change any of these things, I will have a fear that, okay, what will happen? Will it disrupt my today's business? So likewise, many companies today, they're still continuing their legacy applications, thinking that if I try to change this, I may end up in some state of disruption. But we still try to see some of the challenges. For example, legacy applications still maintain that monolithic architectures and outdated technology stacks. And knowingly or unknowingly, we will be having certain challenges with these legacy application architectures. 64% of organizations cite they have to improve their application maintainability. Also, they want to prioritize their scalability. These are the two main challenges we tend to hear from corporates in terms of maintaining the legacy applications or modernizing these legacy applications. And what are those key business drivers if you want to consider to modernize these legacy applications? Customer experience. That is one of the key driver people will consider to, yes, I have this issue today and I have to try to modernize my legacy application. And security considerations is some of these legacy applications sometimes they pose certain security challenges, which again is a key driver for the corporates to think about modernizing these legacy applications. So maintenance challenges and business drivers. And the third factor you should consider when you want to modernize these legacy applications is the specific patterns that industry follows. For example, if you take healthcare sector, they have to strictly follow their regulatory compliance. Certain organizations, they still follow that. And as part of that, you should take care of keeping your application up to date. Like I mentioned, again, healthcare sectors, they prioritize interoperability improvements. That is another factor that you should consider. Then API first approaches to enable system integration. So this is the current state where we have our legacy applications. Today, I would like to talk about a few major approaches or the strategies many of us would try to use if you want to modernize these legacy application. One such approach would be cloud migration, and the other one would be containerizations. So we will see what are the strategy that we have when we want to employ these cloud and container. So assessment framework. Yes, whether it is containerization or a cloud migration strategy, you have to thoroughly do your portfolio analysis. Why? There is, as per the research, it clearly states that you have made a thorough portfolio analysis before you want to really start your journey with this cloud migration or containerization strategies. Had it been any ad hoc approach, then you wouldn't be really able to realize the return on investment on any of the approaches. Yeah, orchestration. I'm sure we would have heard about Kubernetes. Majority of the organizations today they use this Kubernetes in terms of their production operations, with 64% managing between 2 and 5 clusters. So organizations with mature container practices demonstrate a 47% reduction in application deployment time and 35% enhancement in resource utilization. Whereas in terms of cloud architecture, definitely people who involve in these cloud architectures as part of their legacy application modernization journey, they see definitely some amount of improvement in application scalability and decrease in operational overhead. And definitely it is going to boost your developer productivity. And also I must say that it should also show some reduction in incident resolution times. So when we talk about clouds today, it is essential that we will be hosting some of our applications in a multi-cloud strategy. So we should also consider, when I consider these multi-cloud strategies, what are the various other factors that I should consider? 41% enhancement in disaster recovery capabilities and 37% improvement in vendor negotiation leverage and 49% improvement in geographical service delivery. So all these things, enterprises now operate in the multi-cloud environment. They have to take care of these parameters. So container security. If you have chosen containerization as your strategy, organizations definitely must identify security as their top container management concern. So 77% have implemented comprehensive container specific security tools, and while 84% incorporate automated security scanning into their security frameworks. So data operations and storage. So this is another consideration organizations should take care, where it is essential for database and data driven applications. 45% currently run stateful applications in Kubernetes, with 82% planning to increase their stateful workloads. So data protection emerges as a primary concern for 55% of the organizations. So this is about a cloud or a containerization strategy, and what are the various considerations that you must be taking care when you are about to introduce this multi-cloud strategy. Okay. And my second approach or the strategy I would say is artificial intelligence. So if I'm not still talking about artificial intelligence, then I'm nowhere in this in the competition. Today, who is not using artificial intelligence? Okay. If artificial intelligence is so popular, how artificial intelligence is going to be helping me in terms of this application modernization? Okay. AI driven code analysis, cognitive computing, and performance optimization. So in each of these areas, AI is going to play a vital role to assist me in modernizing my legacy applications. So how and what exactly these AI tools or ML software is going to do? So if you look at this information here presented, AI-powered code analysis tool report a 54% reduction in technical debt accumulation and a 42% improvement in code quality metrics. Absolutely. So these AI algorithms can process legacy code bases at 15 times the speed of manual review while maintaining 94% accuracy. So these numbers out of a research paper, I have gathered this, and these numbers very much say how much a critical role these AI tools and softwares will play while you want to plan your application modernization. Cognitive computing. Today, so if organizations wants to implement these cognitive computing solutions, they would have realized that a 63% improvement in the business rule extraction accuracy and a 58% reduction in system documentation effort. NLP, natural language processing capabilities, show a 76% success rate in converting unstructured legacy documentation into structured knowledge bases. So this is about cognitive computing. Performance optimization. Okay, so AI-driven performance prediction models achieve 91% accuracy in forecasting system behavior under various load conditions. So organizations leveraging these capabilities report a 52% improvement in resource utilization and a 47% reduction in performance-related incidents. So not only these three areas, either in terms of testing or data insights, there are like several areas where this AI plays a very vital role, and it helps a lot in boosting your efficiency and reducing the time and the cost, etc. So many ways the AI is going to play a critical role. Like I mentioned, testing and decision support systems. So automated testing. So these AI softwares would really help people to do the test coverage. Means it really helps us to write enough number of test cases given a set of code snippets. So I really no need to engage so many people to write these test cases. So AI is going to do the job for me. So 78% it does the test coverage with 65% less effort compared to traditional approaches, like I mentioned. So it also reduces the testing cycles while it improves the defect detection rate. So much automation is in place. So why not we see this improvement, right? So improving defect detection rates by 43% and pattern recognition. So AI is so popular in terms of identifying pattern, what are the various stages or situations my system tends to slows down or my system shows some performance slowdown. So those areas I can very well map it down and I can have an algorithm in place to see, okay, these are all the maintenance schedule I have to take care in terms of maintaining them, system recovery, and etc. in all those aspects. So has become so this AI powered pattern recognition has become so instrumental in architecture optimization. So like I mentioned, not only in this maintenance schedules, like also architecture optimization, if there is any repetitive processes or any workflows, this AI really helps in identifying such duplicacy or in redundancy. They can very well help to optimize those workflows. It also improves the decision making. So if you have a machine learning model and you can very well use it to predict the success rate of different modernization patterns with 85% accuracy. Data driven decision support. So AI will also help us to do so much data analytics. And out of that, it will help the top layered management cadre people to consider these data analytics, and it really help them to perform some data insights and to use that further for next business enhancements. So organizations implementing these AI-powered decision support systems report a 67% improvement in modernization success rates and a 49% reduction in project risk. These tools can effectively analyze complex dependencies with 84% accuracy. Okay. In our approaches, the next one would be low code and no code development platforms. I'm sure you guys would have already heard of these low code, no code development platforms. What exactly mean by low code, no? Today, we all spend so much time in gathering the requirements, spending time in drafting the technical requirement specifications. And again, after that, people spending time in writing a huge amount of code. What if I'm given a chance without much code or with no code, I will be able to do all that magic. That is what it is possible through these low code, no code development platforms. So as per the research, the global market is expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 28.1% through 2027 because of the significant benefits to, through these low code, no code platforms. Accelerated development. Organizations who are really thinking about these low code, no code platforms, they're going to experience a 65% reduction in the application development cycles compared to the traditional approaches. Cost efficiency. People who implement these platforms, they're going to achieve 47% cost savings compared to traditional development approaches. And governance. So in terms of governance, organizations are going to achieve 62% higher user adoption rates and report 44% fewer implementation challenges. So training impact. Comprehensive training programs result in 57% higher developer productivity with these platforms. Success factors include effective security frameworks like 73% success rate, robust training programs, and design integration capabilities. So here I have put few numbers in terms of specific industry who are adopting these low-code, no-code platforms. Financial services, 38% of this financial sector, they are using this LCNC adoption with workflow automation solutions delivering 61% year over year growth. And healthcare, 31% of these healthcare sector, they use these LCNC platforms for interactive patient engagement, achieving a 54% adoption across provider networks. And coming to the retail sector, 27% of the retail sector, they use these platforms in their omni-channel customer experience solutions. And 40% in manufacturing sector, where they use these platforms for smart operations management platforms, revolutionizing production efficiency. So enterprises implementing these platforms or these solutions, they have proved that it is going to have a faster delivery of digital transformation initiatives with enhanced business responsiveness to market changes. Also, they're going to demonstrate a stronger cross-department collaboration. Along with that, these organizations experience a 55% decrease in IT project backlogs and a 39% boost in innovation capabilities through democratized development programs. And the next one we have in this approach in the strategies is microservices architecture. This is another popular approach or strategy where we use so predominantly when I want to modernize my legacy applications. So what exactly is a microservice? So in traditional approaches, I would be having a long written services or workflows or processes. So now as the days evolve, as the technology evolve, we realize that decomposing these long written services into small in a micro manner, so that having constructed all these microservices in a very communication manner is going to improve the architecture and efficiency. Strategic decomposition. So this is what I mentioned. So you will be decomposing a long processes to make them much more easy for in terms of communication and efficiency. So you will be deciding precise boundaries for optimal service isolation. Also, you will be talking something about service mesh architecture, where you will be streamlining these inter-service communications, like I mentioned above. So pattern-based development, you will be deciding or designing a fault tolerance, a resilient mechanisms for as part of this pattern-based development, and network resilience, robust security controls and traffic orchestration, data consistency, so scalable event sourcing and transaction patterns. So organizations implementing these strategic decomposition methodologies achieve a 64% improvement in system maintainability and scalability. They demonstrate superior results in terms of like success rate for incremental monolith transformation. Teams like embracing domain-driven design frameworks experience a 47% reduction in cross-team boundary disputes and architecture conflicts. So this is so service mesh architecture is very popular. Like when you implement, it is going to deliver 58% higher reliability in complex service interactions while reducing network-related incidents by 45%. Organizations report a 67 enhancement in disrupted tracing capabilities, enabling faster problem resolution and comprehensive system visibility across the microservices ecosystem. Future outlook on digital transformation. Accelerated modernization. 84% of organizations have accelerated their digital modernization initiatives, with 67% increasing technology investments specifically for legacy application transformation. This momentum continues to build as the digital transformation becomes a strategic imperative rather than an optional advantage. Risk management. So this is another category you have to consider when you want implementing structured risk management frameworks. Report is 73% fewer modernization related disruptions. Success factors include that proactive risk identification and integrated adaptive response mechanism across systems. Technology stack evolution. 78% of these enterprises now prioritize flexible, scalable architectures as foundation elements. Those embracing modern database technologies achieve 62% improved application responsiveness, 56% less data latency, and 51% enhanced system scalability, creating a more agile technological ecosystem. So, sustainable modernization practices. But sustainable modernization practices where long-term sustainability is implementing sustainable modernization frameworks achieve a 66% improvement in long-term system maintainability and 59% reduction in technical data accumulation. So this focus on sustainability ensures a system remain viable and adaptive over time. Innovation capabilities. So organization fostering innovation-driven modernization approaches report 69% improvement in feature delivery speed and a 54% enhancement in customer experience metrics. Innovation has become a crucial differentiator in modernization sections. Enterprise risk considerations. So 81% of organizations now incorporate risk assessment into their modernization planning phases. So automated risk assessment tools lead to 58% improvement in risk identification, accuracy, and better alignment between technical capabilities and business objectives. Yeah. So this is about our various strategies and trends that we would be using to do this legacy modernization. One final thought I would want to present before I say thanks and leave for the presentation is I really do not want to enforce that you have to abandon your existing systems, legacy systems. It is up to each one of us to maintain a proper balance of what are today's business needs, and if my today's applications or the existing legacy applications, though they are called outdated, are they really helping me to meet today's business needs? If not, then I have to see what is the possible way, what is the most profitable way to use the stability and the enhancement of the existing system. At the same time, I need to modernize in a way that I have to make use of these latest technologies like cloud adoption, microservices, containerization, importantly, artificial intelligence, so that my application is no more called as an outdated application because it has all the latest capabilities to be in a position to interact with a few other peer technology platforms for to meet the latest business requirements. So, of course, another factor we should consider is the culture of the organization and customer experience. People who work on these platforms, they should all feel comfortable when you make a move towards this modernization. I'm pretty sure you have learned enough information when you want to modernize these legacy applications for the most business profitability to achieve today. I hope you enjoy the presentation. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening to me. Bye. You have a good one.